What's up, guys? Guess who's back again? So building off my crypto content, specifically now, guys' confidence in Bitcoin and guys' confidence in the market cycle is damaged. I'll just make sure that my audio is recording. Yeah, it is. Guys' confidence in the crypto market is currently damaged because ultimately altcoins are having a shithouse performance for the most part. There's an issue going on with alts that essentially pump fund and those sort of token deployers have been able to just constantly dilute this cycle. There's been issues around, again, very similar to the ICO, like the ICO days, when people had the initial coin offerings and then they were offering a bunch of scams and things like that. But you locked your Ethereum up. So in the old days, you used to be able to, let's say a project wanted to raise funds, they could do it in they just put a website up. They post their white paper, they post their ideas, maybe they have some tech, they post to GitHub, like something exists, like there's some development there. And then people would think, oh, I want to invest in that or I don't want to invest in that. But a lot of the investments were done in Ethereum. So people would, let's say, I want to invest 10 Ethereum into a certain project. They could send it directly to it wasn't even really a smart contract. A lot of the time it would just be a basic wallet. And then ultimately later on, they would get tokens sent to them once the project launched. That was a part of it. You know, some of them were more private that you couldn't get access to them. But there was some sort of development happening. Like there was something going on. There was a white paper. There was actually something that existed. I'm not saying that a lot of the projects ultimately will become shit, but I invested in Chainlink this way. You know, we were invested later on. We had a bigger allocation. Ultimately, I sold well too early, but I still hold some Chainlink. I'm still a believer in the project. I still know if Chainlink will hit $50. I believe that's true, but it's somewhat tied to Ethereum's performance currently. Ethereum's a complete shitbox currently. It's a mess. Ethereum itself, it might be like it's a cycle. It can be like a cycle of accumulation for a very long period of time. Ethereum is performing like dog shit. Like, let's be frank. Since the merge, it's performed like shit. You know, it's performed like shit. But it's without a use case, like currently. You know, I do think the use case will be real world assets, and I think that the use case ultimately will be staking and you'll get a dividend and all of those ideas. But a lot of the layer twos and things like that are not stealing, but you getting a lot of the utility that Ethereum would normally get. You don't need to hold Ethereum because you might hold like Matic or some of the other layer twos, like on base chain or something like that. You might be using their chain. It's like splitting it. And they don't really get a lot of revenue under such an idea. Like their fees are crappy currently. So I understand that Ethereum is struggling. You know, it's been a shitter. I say that holding over 1,000 Ethereum. You know, understand that when it dropped, it's dropped from 3,800 or whatever it was, or a bit higher, maybe 3,200, a bit lower, and it's now like 1,800. That's like me dropping $2 million. So I understand that's a massive move. So I understand that people aren't happy about it. I posted a video that if Ethereum doesn't break 4K by the end of the year, it doesn't touch 4K, that's what I did say, then I'll give someone in the comments 10K that commented on the YouTube, and I'll go back and if that's the case. I don't believe it will be, you know, but that's not to say that I believe that they'll be at all-time highs at the end of the year. I don't believe that. I think it's possible to get close to that, but I don't think that they'll be breaking out of the highs. We're in a mid-cycle slowdown. However long that slowdown goes, then that's to be decided. Trump consistently launches more tariffs. Tariffs are taxes. They just have they're just disguised better. They're pushing countries for compliance. It's not about taxing people for no reason. People believe that. It's not about that, because it's about bringing a lot of production and things like that back to the US. And I don't disagree with that sort of concept. I think that's a good idea, because if there is a war, and a lot of you don't have the development and you don't have like fracking and things like that happening, you need that. Like you can't be reliant on overseas oil and all of this stuff when you have yourself oil. Because then if there is a war, you're trying to build all of the shit quickly to get access, because oil is blood of war. Like that, nothing runs without oil in a war concept. Like that's really it. You need a lot of oil quickly, and not just oil. There's many other things that they need. Like they need to be able to quickly move from making certain things like cars or something like that to making weapons, making tanks, making military gear, making fucking bullets, rifles, making aircraft, like fighter aircraft. So all that stuff is essential. They're nationalist ideas. Again, it employs a lot more Americans, so I get the concept. I understand it. America first, in at least theory. I'm not going to speculate too much because my account will be banned. I have my own ideas for why the tariffs exist. I think that they're, I'll say it outright, I think that they wanted to get a certain minister ahead of the International Crimes Court. They actually were talking about doing it and put a warrant out or something like that. This person can't go into these several countries. You can't go into this country because they would arrest them, they were saying. And now that specific those specific countries are getting hit with harsh tariffs. Like, I don't want to say exactly too much about it because my account will be fucked with and I'll get fucked with into the future. But it's pretty obvious. That sort of stuff is quite obvious. If you speak out against a certain country, not speak out that you want to hurt them or anything like that, but just speak out that like they are doing a lot of injustices and they do control a large amount of the US machines, so to speak, large amount of the media, large amount of the promotion. I was the one that come on and told people that they had paid certain influencers to do religious conversions. I was the one that said that, and people fucking told me that I was mental. They don't understand. I've introduced you to a concept. Soros, they approach people via media organizations. So imagine you're a Soros guy and you have a dream for what you want, more immigration. And now you have media agencies and things like that under you that you funded. They're just like, they're under his umbrella, but they're not direct. They don't have direct ties to him, like directly. A lot of money just appears via trusts and things like that into certain projects, media companies. And then they go to certain influencers and offer them cash, clout, fame. If you can pivot over to a certain religion, so then when people see those same people being flooded into the UK, they're like, oh, I'm more tolerant now. Like these people, my favorite influencers told me that these people are great people. And that's not to say that it's not to say that they're good or bad, but there's a lot more crime. It's this funny. It's like the bait and switch, the switcheroo. Like you get shown the right hand and you think like this person who looks like me told me that these people are great. And then actually you get the left, like the switch arrives and the other person is not there with you. The person who told you they were great, you're alone. People tell you that sort of stuff. It gets me. See, social science and things like that, I find sociology and all of that is very interesting. A lot of the people who run the world, they are masters of sociology. But I'm not going to get into those sort of conspiracy. Can we call it a conspiracy theory? I don't want to get into those sort of things because I'm talking about crypto currently. And yeah, that's the idea. You know, 80K is very important for Bitcoin currently. It's a really big important number. You know, maybe we can spend a period where but it's absolute capitulation, goblin town below 80K. You know, I think 80, maybe we can have like a wick to like 72, 76. But below that, it destroys market structure. Like below that is people will be coming to say that the market cycle is over. And that's not like that. If it comes to probability above zero, that's possible. I don't believe that that's true. I think that, you know, the market cycle's not over. I think we're just in an extended mid-cycle slowdown. Similar to when Trump come on. Trump's tariffed before, and we had market issues then, and then ultimately we have multiple years of good. I think that's much of what's happening. We'll look back and this will be kind of like a 2016, but it's not great. We need quantitative easing. We need like QT, I believe quantitative tightening is wrapping up. It'll be interesting to see what the inflation data is coming into next month. But we got a lot of like roundtable discussions about crypto, a lot of regulation, a lot of things changing, which people say is bad, but it's actually going to be good into the future. But it can be short-term bad because it's fear. Fear is the worst thing for a market because it's not the fear, it's the uncertainty. What could happen? You know, people suffer more in what could be than what actually is, because when it actually happens or something happens, you can price it in quickly. But when it's unsure, people are like, I don't want to buy yet. I don't want to buy yet. I'm waiting. And that's when the actual capitulations can happen. Ethereum is the absolute dog shit. You know, I say that as someone, again, I still hold almost probably more, $2 million worth of Ethereum. That used to be $4 But that's the nature of the market. See, that's why it's funny to me. Like, I know that it's serious, and I know some people can lose money and they're upset and things like that. But I only recommend, like, I have my SRB crypto, and I recommend only holding spot. I'm not someone who tells people to buy leverage positions. And I know it's painful, and I know in altcoins it's painful. I'm not under any terms that it's not. When I say that my portfolio is down millions of dollars in the last month, I'm not kidding about that. Probably the last 2 months. I'm not kidding about that. That's true. Millions, probably many millions, 4 or 5 million. But that's the nature of the game. I've been through this many times. I've been through this market so many times, like so many of the ebb and flows of the market. This market is fear and FOMO. It's really all of that period. It's within one. If it's not pumping, it's dumping. Like, it's very rarely, it has periods of consolidation, yes. But I think that's what we're going to be in. I think that we'll have like a 72 to 76K. It's possible. And then we'll just sit between that and 100K for like most of the year. I think that's what's to come. Like, we're going to go through a very large digestion period, and then we might break out, I believe, like later in the year, much later in the year. That's what's coming at this point. And it's going to be low sentiment. Like, it's not going to be exciting. But something needs to change, because people need to come back to utility. See, it's not only that the funds want you to come back to utility. Like, they're going to have to deliver some sort of marketing or some sort of new idea, or some sort of new idea is going to have to come out of Ethereum. Something that makes people be like, I want to come back to utility. Like, there's actually a use case for crypto. Real world assets is one. DeFi will be one. See how DeFi works? Let me teach you. Decentralized finance. DeFi is crap if you can already get a good yield at your bank. Like, if someone tells me, well, not me, because my banking is shit, but if someone told me and I was a normal person with a good reputable history with the banks fucked me over because I've been in crypto. They don't like that. But a normal person, they're like, you can get a 4.5% or something yield in the money market. Just put your money, like your cash, in the bank and just sit it in the bank, and we'll give you 4.5% a year. They don't want to come to crypto for 5% on a DeFi platform. Like, why would they? It's too much risk. It's not worth it. But then that 5% stays in next year. When rates are down to like 2.5% or 3%, now it's exciting. Like, now I'm ready to take a little bit more risk, because the money sucks. Like, the money markets are crappy. Like, the yield's crappy. Bonds will be getting crappier. Like, those sort of ideas. People will be like, why would I sit in bonds at like 3%? When there's too much risk to sit in there. Like, they know that inflation is going to continually ramp up. Bonds being purchased only under like US, I don't want to say like threats, but kind of. That's why it pops up the market. They have to do it. Like, people outside countries buy it, yes. And it's not a bad thing, because it tangles all of the countries' interests together. That's not a bad thing. Like, if all countries hold each other's debt and things like that, parts of it and stuff, because it incentivizes them not to fight as much and fuck around. Like, they're benefiting from the other's economy, but also invested in that sector. Like, they're invested in another country at least being successful. So it shows like good faith. So that's not a bad thing. But ultimately, my concern is for altcoins and when they're going to have a run. And I think that it is going to be next year, at this rate. I don't think alts are going to do fuck all, really, for most of the year. They're going to be in a period of consolidation. They can be in a period of bleeding while Bitcoin dominance goes to like 68 to 72%. That will be astronomical. That will be like altcoin murder. That will be difficult, because obviously now we're like 62, 61, 62. So that's a big step. That's a very big step, considering stables as well. Like, altcoin in the totals outside of stable coins will be crushed under such a scheme. And it's possible, and it's unfortunate, because we've got Sailor and we've got other states and places buying Bitcoin and talking about buying Bitcoin. So they're the buyers of last resort. Essentially, they're propping up the market. Bitcoin's like inflated under that sort of a term. It's being propped up by not that many people. But then, unfortunately, for Ethereum and things like that, there's not really anyone coming along to buy it. Like, of course, World Liberty Finance for Trump and, BlackRock and things like that, they are still accumulating. But it's in the middle of nowhere, so to speak. It's not doing great. I have to keep it real of that. Do I think that, 1,500 is the all-time highs from like 2017? Do I think they can be retested? Yes, at this point, of course. Maybe you get a period below them, but if I will be buying fucking big more, I have like I don't know how much, a few $100K that I'll be putting into Ethereum if we get to like 14, 1500, not just Ethereum, but other altcoins. Specifically talk about it in my crypto group, srbcrypto.com. I have some projects that I think that will do very well this cycle. Specifically, crypto is, you have your portfolio of old coins as well. Like you have some that will carry you in case the new projects fail. Because old shitters like Chainlink, I do believe Chainlink goes to $50. I do believe Ethereum still goes to like 6 to 8K. But they're not going to have the parabolas. They don't have as much hype. They're not going to be as frothy, but they're going to be more like, Ethereum's not going to go away. Even though it sucks and even though it's dropping, even though it does all of the shit, the tech works, the development's there. Their foundation are going to find more utility, more use cases. They just got lazy. Not just lazy, they're producing they're sticking to decentralization. And as such, it's not a big magnet for funds. Because people are they think that all of these funds and things are invested in Bitcoin because it's decentralized. That's not true. I believe they're investing in it because they know it's an AI play. But they're not investing in tech that they can't control. They're investing in mining and owning a large amount of the hash power and eventually owning the majority of the hash power so that they can vote on forks and control the network. That's what it's about. It's not, but also with Ethereum and things like that, it's proof of stake, so it doesn't have the same concept. Moving to proof of stake so far for Ethereum has been a mistake. It's documented in the price. See, miners and things like that, they're incentivized to protect. They have a lot of tech, like a lot of gear, GPUs, things like that. They're incentivized to protect the price, because they themselves want to sell at a higher price and it's a big business for them. But when it's staking, they're not incentivized to protect the price as much, as you're seeing. That's just the way it is. So yeah, lads, over at srbcrypto.com, I'm posting I've got my portfolio on there. I'm in it with you guys. I understand that. I posted a couple of my wallets on the srbcrypto.com so they can see that I'm holding parts that I told people that I'm holding, so that they can see that I have conviction. I'm not one of those guys who talks about crypto and then only makes money talking about advice and then sells crypto for cash and doesn't even hold any crypto. That happens to a lot of people in this sort of a field. They only make money shilling links and ref links and groups and crap. But I got rich in crypto, and as such, it's just there's a rough market right now. But there's going to be some amazing buying opportunities, specifically in altcoins. See, altcoins in the AI space, that's going to be a space where people get very rich in. The AI, the industrial revolution that's to come, that's here, that's coming. Crypto for AI is going to be a segment or an area that the average person can invest in, because they won't be able to invest in OpenAI at 500 billion. You won't be able to get in that. You're not a bank. You're not a banker. You don't have the connections to get in, as I don't. I don't either. So I know that they're going to have to push into speculate through crypto. And in srbcrypto.com, that's what we talk about. So we're ready to ride this wave of crypto that's to come. And then we're going to ride the wave of AI after. And AI will be bigger than what we have now. So our goal is to, 5x, or it's probably much more gains now that the crypto is down, 7 or 8x your portfolio in this bull run, by the end of next year or maybe mid the year after. Understand that the cycle, as I've said, this is going to break the mold. This is going to be the 4-year cycle will break under this concept. That's the way it is. That's what's coming. So if you want to get more information or you want to know what's happening, join my free Telegram. SRB Money as well as the best one for free announcements on crypto, announcements on money, free things that I teach in there. And then if you want to be serious about it, join srbcrypto.com. See you guys inside.